not just teachers, but forces. And these two sisters represent the divine feminine, the rise of the divine feminine. So we're going to highlight that tonight. We're in Atlantis. You know, this is the melting pot of divine feminine energy. You know what I'm talking about? So we pay homage tonight. We are very honored to bring these two sisters to the family. But in the meantime, between time, what I want to do is I want to open up with our opening song for my YouTube family. We got the YouTube family in the building, the Melanin Monday family in the building. I believe this is episode 138. We've been doing this for 138 Mondays consistently. So the key word is consistency, because Monday came very quick. We put the word out that we were doing this tonight at the last moment because we didn't even realize that Monday was here. It snuck up on us so fast, but commitment, right? Commitment and consistency. I said, you know what? I told Secret, I said, look, let's just go and do it. Let's open up the spot. Let's bring the family out, because even if we talking to one person or 100 or 1,000, it doesn't mean anything, because I'm going to do this regardless. You know what I'm talking about? So I'm honored to be here in the A, standing on the stage with my brother Fire Vibes, one of the illest DJs in the building, doing it big. The family in the building, you know, just presenting this information and creating experiences, creating moments. You know what I'm talking about? Bringing people together to network, you know, utilizing our 24 hours for something to be very, very beneficial to us. So without any further ado, let's open up with the 24 hours and we're going to do roll call. Hey!
All I got is 24 hours. Living down 24 hours. When it's really age, when the same day, looking at the face, it just 24 hours. If your neighbor does wrong with the same 24, gotta action, so money, so power. Are you living for the struggle, all honor? Still make a nigga something for fathers. I'm just thankful that my mother provided. Serve up a double dozen more flowers. Others all countless, little pure sour. Smoking in my last 24 hours. Saying something wrong, trouble, more trauma. Feeling tears like a bucket, some showers. I just wish I had 100 more hours. Got a generous for 24 minus. Well, we got a budget for, can I borrow some of y'all? Spending quick as $24. Going faster than my mother's wall charter. I can feel a tender loving pure power. It's 24, it's 24, it's 24, it's 24 hours. Would you trade your money for hours? Trade your hours for a couple more hours. First you see the dark and then you see the light. Then you see the day and then you see the night. I'm just never reading what I say inside. Think of my creator, I can read it right. Stumbled on my path, I think I need a ride. Trouble in the silence, bring my evil side. Swallowing my ego and I eat my pride. Follow to the end until I see the light. All I got is day and night. Right, night is dark, day is night. I say good morning, then I say good night, day and night. My only options in the game of life, play the dice. You lose a boat if you don't pay the price. Light is black, the day is white, kind of racial right. Some guy, smear the ice like a glacier might calibrate it the way I like. Count the 24-hour hand, rotate it twice, take a chance and not Mother Nature. And Father Time had a baby and he named it Christ. They go to son, I'm okay, raise him right. Daughter told, her name is Luna, but they gave her life. The sun is down, you see a rise into a greater time. Feel like ET on the stride, never changing right. You see my cattle on the move, cause I'm a take and fly. Living like I'm in a shine. Yeah. First you see the dark and then you see the light. Then you see the day and then you see the night. I'm just never reading what I say inside. Think of my my creator, I created mine. Struggle on my job, I think I need a run. Struggle every sound, scream my evil side. Swallowing my ego when I eat my pride. Fight it to the end until I see the ground. I'll be mad if you ain't at my weight. In a race, blessing faith as you pass the mace. Throwing bricks, wrap the mask and tape. Kick me from the fifth down to Astor Place. Let me see the grin on the bastard's face. I'm coming from the kin of the master race. Excellency in the master's race. I know the code, so I crack the safe. Bury me with Sadie in his casket late. And we own him to a master safe. Bury me in Polo with a cat on waist. Victory is sweet, I get the aftertaste. Yeah.
There you have it, family. 24 hours off of the phenomenal album of the year, LSD by Cambada, featuring Brother Red Pill. And be on the lookout for the new project, Red Summer, by your brother Red Pill, dropping very, very, very soon. We'll be doing an album listening as early as this week or by next week. Please be on the lookout for that. Make sure that you are signed up to the email list. That is very important. For everybody that's out here in Atlanta, make sure you're on the email list. We do a lot of things that's spontaneous, pop-up like, because we're not living by, we're living in the quickening. So things happen real quick. We're going to be able to need to get in touch with you via your phone or your email or your Instagram, wherever you could be contacted through. So make sure we got you on the email list so you stay within the conversation, within the narrative and whatnot. Real quick, Saturday, October the 10th, 2020, the second annual Woke Fest, right here in Atlanta. The second annual Woke Fest on October the 10th, 2020. All right? I believe I will be a part of the Woke Fest. We will be one of the headliners, so look out for that. October the 10th, 2020, Woke Fest. All right? So real quick, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do a roll call with the family that's in the building real quick, so find out where we are being, where the family is tapping in from, so we can tap into this global network. So I'm gonna do the roll call with the with the YouTube family real quick. All right. Merritt Island, Florida is in the building. Salute to Merritt Island, Florida. All right, big up to yourselves. Clearwater, Florida, Thomasville, Georgia, Denver, St. Louis. ATL is in the building. Salute to the ATL, Seminole County, Florida, Orlando, Brooklyn, Lawrence, Massachusetts, Oakland, California. Salute, Texas by way of Richmond, Maryland, Buffalo, New York. All right. Irving, Texas. Charlotte is in the building. Houston is in the building. Salute to Houston. Harlem is in the building. Illinois is in the building. What up, Harlem? We got Harlem. Harlem is in the building. Tulsa, Oklahoma is in the building. Kingston, Jamaica in a bumper class building. Mondem, yeah. Rolling up for us. Like up. 864, South Carolina, the DMV. Tulsa, Oklahoma. Indianapolis, McDonough, Georgia is in the building. All right, 757 Norfolk. Yeah, Virginia's for lovers. Shout out to all of them. Yeah. We have a global family in the building tonight. It feels good to know that we are being watched by family all around the world in real time. That is a very powerful thing, right? That is a very, very powerful thing and a very recent thing, that is. Northern Virginia in the building. B-More is in the building. Flatbush is in the building. Mississippi is in the building. Yeah, what's poppin', Mississippi? The MISSSIP. Yeah, was good. So yeah, that's the roll call. Shout out to y'all out there in YouTube land. Shout out to the family that's tapped in. We are gonna get into the show tonight. Like I said, there's a few things going on in the news and whatnot that we're going to touch on. A little bit of black news. Ain't too many things going on. You know, by show of hands, how many people tapped into the Emmy Awards? I know nobody really taps into that anymore, but there was a show that took home a lot of awards called The Watchmen. By a show of hands, how many people have seen The Watchmen? Okay. Now, for anybody that's into good cinema, or if anybody is into good mythology, I highly suggest that when you have the time, you tap into the series entitled The Watchmen from HBO. Okay? What it did with episode last night when they won the award, the creator of the series dedicated the series to the survivors and the victims of Tulsa, Oklahoma, right? Black Wall Street. The reason why the series was so provocative is because it took an old comic book, right, that Alan Moore wrote called The Watchmen, and they reinvented it with a modern day context of many of the different social issues that are going on in the world and specifically America right now. Now, one of the interesting things about The Watchmen, and to show you how predictive programming is always at play, right? Predictive programming by way of Hollywood, predictive program by way of the CIA controlled Hollywood, predictive program by way of media, predictive programming by way of social media, predictive programming by way of platforms like HBO and Netflix, where they know that if they put a movie out there with a certain type of concept or a narrative, it's going to be watched by hundreds of millions of people. So when you know something like that, you know that you can slip all kind of messages, all kind of hidden images, all kind of narratives. You could basically rewrite history with one movie. There's been a litany of movies and a litany of shows that have been showing those who have the eyes to see that Hollywood is definitely initiating a high level of what is known as predictive programming. So let's use Watchmen as a case in point. First episode, first 10 minutes of the show, it opens up in Tulsa, Oklahoma, depicting the massacre that everybody knows as Black Wall Street. The reason why that was historic is because no other movie or no other TV show, or they have never had a production in history that spoke about Black Wall Street. That's an American secret, right? That's one of their bloody secrets. That's something that they would deny to the end if Black people were talking about it. But here it is, you had this show on HBO, and it was revealing something that happened in the middle of all of this, you know, racial tension in America. They exposed the European as a savage and as a terrorist, more specifically, a homeland terrorist, right? When you got brothers and sisters that did like 8 tours in Iraq and Afghanistan looking for this imaginary terror, you know, this imaginary terrorist. When they left the fort and back at the ranch, the Americans, the same people that they're overseas fighting for, are over here terrorizing our people. How convenient. So the first episode, they highlighted the Black Wall Street. Then, right after that, what did they do? They opened up and they showed a racially motivated killing of a Black policeman by a white supremacist group called the 7th Cavalry, right? That was before the racial tensions of white supremacist groups were really taking place in America like that. This was during a time when it was kind of quiet. So they were introducing that concept. Then right after that, they introduced the concept of everybody wearing a mask. Do you remember that? Think about it. Remember, in Watchmen, all of the police officers had to cover up their faces with masks, right? Everybody was wearing a mask. So in a way, these movies normalize situations through predictive programming and social engineering to whereas later on down the line, when in real life, you know, life imitating art and art imitating life. So later on down the line, when you start seeing people wearing masks, it's not that out of place. Because you was watching the TV show for about a whole year where your favorite characters were all masked up, right? Then there was a plot twist in the whole movie where they had a character who was supposed to be a black superhero. He was an LGBT character. There was an explicit scene in there. My goddamn. But then when you think about it, they're introducing freedom fighters mixed with LGBT, and then right after that in the summertime, you get the rise of BLM. I'm just saying, there's a lot of things that are imitating art right now in life, right? Another movie, another TV show that I could show you, there was where life was imitating it, and they were showing you all of these subtleties. Who saw the last season of Game of Thrones? Right? Oh, I guess y'all wasn't tapped in. The last season, they were focusing on the main character whose name was Jon Snow taking a knee. That was the whole premise of the season. It was him taking a knee to somebody else, to his other, to another queen. I mean, he was a king and this was the queen, but whoever took the knee was basically surrendering. And then immediately after that, you kept hearing this thing about people taking the knee. Take the knee, take the knee. We all gotta take the knee. But let me ask you something. Has taking the knee made you a stronger people? Has taking the knee slowed down homeland terrorism? Has taking the knee freed the homies? Or on the flip side of that, has taking a knee made our people more docile? Whereas they're explaining themselves for being black these days. And they gotta run around trying to remind people, you know, I'm black. My life matters. Look at me. So, you know, congratulations to the show for winning the awards that it won. I was speaking very highly of it over the years. That show, the show American Gods, and also Lovecraft is one of the more recent ones, pause, right? I fell asleep during episode 2 or 3. I've heard that I missed out on some things later on down the line, and I'm not looking forward to catching up to it. But, you know, what we're beginning to see in cinema and also in the arts, this in alignment with what we're seeing in real life in regards to the apocalypse. And when I say the apocalypse, what I mean is the unveiling. When I say the apocalypse, for my brothers and sisters that come out of the church, what I mean is the reawakening, right? I'm not speaking about apocalypse from a Hollywood mentality where it's a dystopian type of situation. I'm speaking about apocalypse the way that Tupac spoke about it. He called it Tupacalypse Now. And what was he talking about? He was talking about the mass awakening. He was talking about the sleeping giant waking up. He was talking about Hiram Abiff rising up from out of his shallow grave, the sleeping dead. That's what the apocalypse is. And you're currently living through what is known as the Great Awakening or the apocalypse. That's what 2020 represents. If somebody comes out of 2020 and they still completely as retarded as they were going into 2020, they throw them away. No, real talk. They're like a clone. We were talking about invasion of the body snatchers. If they didn't resonate with the frequencies that have been bombarding this planet, right? Because we observe what is taking place on a celestial level with the term corona rising. So we know when they have the coronal mass ejections and the sun rays and all of these heat waves, we understand that information is coming from the sun or the solar system, right? And manna is raining down from the heavens, and it's manifesting and it's materializing on this material level as things like gold, the bag, coins is falling out of the sky. You know, money is raining down, and dudes ain't even stripping, and it's still raining on them. This whole summer, there were all kind of pots of money that miraculously opened up. Like I said, on this earthly plane, when that sun is giving off all of that light, remember, sun is Leo, Leo is gold. When that sun is giving out all of that light, all of that energy, all of that current, all of that quote unquote food is translated as wealth and abundance in the real world. Because don't the plants get extra sunlight, which means that they're going to grow extra fast, right? Don't the animals get replenished with the sunlight that helps them grow? The fish in the sea, the flowers, the birds, the bees, everything benefits off of it. So, like I said, in this earthly realm, you know, in my humble opinion, it translates to wealth. And I've seen an influx of wealth. Whereas, if you were following the narrative that the government, the fearmongers, and the people who are programming your reality, you would be in a depression right now. It would be impossible to pay your bills. It would be impossible to come up. It would be impossible to touch a bag because they told you stay in your house and don't even talk to anyone. They were encouraging you to be non-social, right? Do you see the programming, how it started out? The phases, 1, 2, and 3. By the time our people reach 3, you have families breaking up. Dude's moms was like, yo, you can't even come in the house no more. What do you mean? According to Dr. Oz, people over 60 are at more risk than the young people. So I don't even want y'all around me. That's what I heard people start talking. You got family, you got households breaking up. You got people who didn't see people that they love for months. And then it was like, you know what? I don't miss them no more. I mean, shit. If I did 6 months without them, I'm going to be good. But on the flip side of that, what did you have? You had people who had the opportunity to spend time with themselves. You had people who were running on a hamster wheel. I'm talking about headless, with a routine that's almost robotic in its nature. Wake up, eat, rinse, repeat, sleep, do it again. Take the children to school, go to the post office, go to the grocery store, go to the gym, pick them up, cook dinner, bring them home, go to sleep, repeat. What did the COVID-19 do? It shook all of that up. So what is constant? Change is constant. And is change painful or not? Is birth painful or not? Right? The only thing that's constant is change. So in the calendar year of 2020, if we're beginning to see monumental change, that is a good thing. That is a good thing. That is a plus. Right? That means that the possibilities for something new to occur has now been exasperated. It has now been exponentially increased versus the insanity of doing the same thing time after time after time after time again and expecting different results. So now we live in a reality where people who are even working from home quit that and now they're working for themselves. They figured it out. They went and tapped into some of these online courses like in-home banking, digital real estate. You know what I'm saying? The course that I did with Billionaire PA, Wealthy and Healthy, Marketplace. You know, there's a lot of programs out there. And people are tapping into these programs. And what are they doing? They're gaining confidence in their skill set. They're gaining confidence in what it is, their expertise. They're gaining confidence in the fact that they could do what? Teach a community, reach a community, nurture a community with what it is that they learn, add value to themselves, right? A 9 to 5, wait a minute, you're adding value to a corporation who treats you like a commodity because they don't treat you like an individual. They don't treat you like the star that you are. They don't treat you like the individual, like the asset that you are. No, they treat you like a commodity, something that could be replaced immediately, and they will forget about you. Okay? That's what they do. They do not recognize your innate gifts. They do not recognize your talents. They do not recognize your skills like that. You will not take over the company. You will not rise up to be the CEO overnight the way that you would if you was putting on for yourself. So here it is. We're giving our sweat equity, right? That's what it's called, sweat equity. And what do we receive? Fiat. Sweat equity, right? Human capital, right? Sweat equity, real currency. Like when you strap an ox, right? A beast of burden that's tilling the field, or a horse that's carrying you 800 miles. That's sweat equity. They doing real work. And then what do? You get fiat. You get a debt note, right? So that's not a fair exchange in it of itself. And then what do? You say, I'm gonna focus on my hobby. You call your skill set and your gift a hobby, right? You relegated your skill and your gift that was bestowed upon you by the powers that be, right? You threw it away and was like, nah, that's just a hobby. That's something I do on the side. Not even to get me rich or wealthy, just to satisfy my ego, just to release a little bit of dopamine, right? Just to play with myself a little bit, but not really go there. But in the morning though, I'm finna get up, I'm gonna dress up, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna apply myself, my intellectual property, my sweat equity, to another corporation that I don't have no trademarks, no ownership, no rights, damn near no stocks, no stake in the company whatsoever, but as the role of an employee. And we wonder why people are talking about they feel spiritually bankrupt. They got money in the bank, right? But like I said, those are debt notes that you may have given your sweat equity, real currency, your time. During the coronavirus or during the COVID-19 lockdown, you saw the importance of your time. You saw how your time could be spent wisely. You saw the time that you were able to spend with your children now as valuable time. Time that you were able to cater to yourself as valuable time. Time that you were able to learn a new skill as valuable time, right? That was real sweat equity. Then you was like, you know what? I know how to make this sea moss drink. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just boil it up, right? I'm gonna put a picture on the internet and I'm gonna apply myself, right? As a matter of fact, there's some elderberry that I'm gonna throw in there too. You made your little labels on Canva, right? You printed it out, you gave it a shot, and then you got 8 hits that day. And it has started your business of healing and wellness, a multi-billion-dollar industry, might I add, right? So now you're like, you know what? I can't even sleep. Before, it hurt to wake up because I was doing what? Building up somebody else's dream, building up somebody else's brand, building up somebody else's company, building up somebody else's entity, building up somebody else's stock portfolio, doing all of these things, becoming a battery to a corporation, and negating myself. So you used to be groggy when you woke up. You felt tapped out. You felt like I don't want to get plugged into the machine. But you did it anyway because you got bills. Now, when you're cooking your own stuff, you can't even go to sleep. You like going to sleep. It's about 6:30 and you're still working on your stuff. You know what I'm talking about? And then when you go to sleep, you can't even sleep for 8 hours. You up at 8:30. You went to sleep at 6:30. You up at 8:30 because you're excited about what it is that you just did. You don't want to sleep too late because you might forget how dope you was at 6:30. So now you're excited to wake up. Why? Because this is a reciprocation taking place. You're doing something that's empowering. You're not leaking out your sweat equity and receiving fiat now. No. You are applying yourself. You in the kitchen cooking up your batch of sea moss. You're making your elderberry. You might even be making home visits. You're receiving emails of people saying, yo, I had the COVID and now it's gone. You saved my life. Right? So it's not just ego that's being fulfilled. You're filling up your spiritual bank account. You're becoming filled up by saying to yourself, you know what? Even though they gave me some fiat and that's not real, I gave them life in a jar. That's not going to go unnoticed. That gets logged into your spiritual bank account. You don't need to spend that right now. There's going to come days and times in life where you may need to tap into that account. But as long as you're doing things to help benefit both yourself and those around you by utilizing something that you innately have, then you are in alignment with the now. You are in alignment with the economy for now, because the economy for the now is the passion economy. The economy for now is the gig economy. The economy for now is something that they call the hustle economy, meaning that people are becoming crafty, they're becoming industrious, they're becoming illustrious, they're believing in themselves, they're betting on themselves, and they setting their own price. Patreon, Thinkific, Teachable.com, right? Patreon.com, Teachable.com, KhanAcademy.com, Udemy.com, OnlyFans.com, QShare, Skillshare.com, right? Who? StreamChasers.com, FactsInitiative.com. These are all platforms. KTLUniversity.com. These are all platforms that are dedicated to doing what? To helping the individual find themselves. That's freedom. Sovereignty is a mind state. You gotta have it in your mind before you become it. It's a lifestyle. You gotta get off of the titty. You gotta cut the middleman out. Them people got 18 hands. Did anybody see Kanye West's contract? You want to see a body? You want to see dead people? Go and read his contract. That'll show you slavery in America on paper. They got our little sons and daughters and family members doing everything in their power to become a corporate slave. That's an accomplishment. Yo, Red Pill, you not signed? Translation, no cracker own you yet, Red? You not sitting on a lap of white zaddy, red? There's nobody that gave you a loan with 75% interest, red? You didn't get jerked yet? That's basically what they asking me. Because if you sign on one of these labels right now, and you're not in control of your contract, and you don't know what the hell you're looking at, I highly encourage you, go right on his Twitter, Kanye West. He put about 30 pages of, he got 12 contracts. So every time you got a new artist or a new venture or something new, they're locking him in further and further and further and further and further in their grips. But then he did something today that is Hegelian dialect, problem and solution. He uploaded about 12 slides of pure solutions, the new industry, the new way to put together a contract. He put out demands for new contracts, and somebody is gonna listen. I hope so, right? So I don't want to hold y'all. I want to bring up my first guest of the evening, right? Is she ready? Yes. Okay. Let me set it up. Last week, I believe, we were invited to participate in the Natural Mystic Fair. And we were grouped together with a group of powerful artists. Rory, Brother Cambada was a part of it, Sharice Nicole, Sister IMINAH, and our good sister LIZZY Jeff, whom I'd never met before. When I had the opportunity to meet this goddess, I was like, where the hell have I been all of this time? You know when you think that you hit me, you know where everything is going on. But I was totally unaware that this sister was out here doing the things that she is doing. I was completely blown away by her talent, her spirit. Everything about her is super duper dope. I said that my Know the Ledge family, I gotta introduce her. I gotta introduce this light to the family because that's what we do on this platform. We have been known over the past 10 years as being the pillars of the community, bringing in the light. So, carrying on tradition, we're gonna continue it today. And without any further ado, coming all the way from Sirius B by way of the West Coast, or the West Side, is our sister, your sister, none other than LIZZY Jeff. Oh, where's my DJ at? I needed some spins. All right, we're gonna play some of her music afterward. I want LIZZY to introduce herself to the family. Let them know briefly who you are, what it is that you do, and I'm gonna just let you go in. You know, I'm gonna be an audience.
Okay, for sure. What's up, everybody? How y'all feeling? Got the spotlight and shit. Let me see. Okay, cool. So this is perfect. Okay, I see a couple icons in the building tonight. What's up, everybody? Oh, let's see. What's up, Jefferson? Queen Secret in this movie. Little Bella in the back, Big Bella, Big B. Okay, and everybody else that I'll become friends with over time. It's nice to meet y'all. Today is an easy day for me. I'm just kind of taking it easy. I'm flowing. Every Monday, I lead this masterclass for a group of about 60 people. And it's been really dope. We've been diving deep and getting to know each other and sharing our stories and healing and, you know, just connecting. And today's class was even more powerful. And, you know, I just left feeling really inspired but some of the topics that came up, I would love to share. I didn't really have anything planned. I just wanted to kind of be in the flow. But one person brought something up in class, and then you know how that happens. It's a trickle conversation. Everybody is resonating with the energy and kind of going through the same thing. But the thing that was coming up was heal your relationship with your mother. And many people had the opportunity to speak on where they are in life with their mother, whether their mother is still in the earthly realm or ascended. But it seems like many of us kind of struggle with our relationship, and some of the things that came up was the energy when we were in the womb space that our mother was carrying while she was carrying us, and kind of tracing the maternal energy signature. If you can, I thought it was really deep. I thought it was really special to talk about that, but I don't know if that resonates with anybody in here, but I really wanted to share, you know, me personally, I've had the opportunity to spend time with my own mother back in LA for the last couple months. And, you know, we struggled for a lot of my teenage years and early adulthood. But now as, you know, two grown women living in this space, we were able to see eye to eye and just come to the table with respect for each other. And it was really powerful because I realized how much we actually have in common. Once we were able to kind of have some deep conversations and heal through some things, it was just really powerful. So being able to sit in class today and hear some of these conversations from different people about their own relationships, you know, just check in wherever you are, whatever your relationship is with your mom, tuning into that. And if you have, you know, the power to take that relationship even deeper to the next level, what does that look like? Y'all feel me? Anybody relate to that? You know, it's a lot of healing power and connecting. And somebody else said our relationship with our mother is reflective of our relationship with the earth. And that's another big thing that's been coming up as these fires are raging all on the West Coast. Some of the hurricanes, some of the different things that are happening all over the earth, we're being forced to like really dig deep and really dive in. And so it's a vital time for us right now to tap into whatever deep traumas we have and really face and acknowledge that, to intentionally heal, to dedicate time every day to checking in with ourselves, because it's a renaissance. It's a renaissance right now, and it's a powerful time, and we are the architects and leaders of this renaissance, and it matters how we show up. It matters how we show up for each other, for the community, for our family, but it especially matters how we show up for ourselves. And so, just really taking the time to be mindful of the things we're consuming, the people that we choose to share our energy with. You know, this is something I heard in my early 20s that I never forget, but it really resonated for me, is that your income is an average of the top 5 people you spend the most time with. And so thinking about that, thinking about who's in your circle, that statement is also reflective of your energy. You know, your energy is the average of the people, the top 5 people you spend your time with. So it's a new season we stepping into. Let's clear some things out. Let's cut cords where we need to, so we can activate more space for healing, for collective evolution. We're in a really special place right now. Being in Atlanta is a powerful mecca, and I really appreciate y'all showing up, supporting Red. Thank you for, hosting something for the community that we can kind of tune into consistently. But this is how we win, through the collective, through showing up for each other, community, holding space for each other. And this journey is not always going to be love and light and butterflies and rainbows. Sometimes shit gets ugly. Sometimes shit hits the fan, and we got to acknowledge the dark side as well. And, it's important for us to just, pop up, tap in. How you feeling? What's up with you? You've been hydrated? I see you drinking water. That's a powerful reminder just to stay hydrated. Are we drinking enough water? Are we nourishing ourselves with electrifying foods? Just the basics, the simple things make a really big difference. So Red got me on live. What's up, y'all? Shit, I'm feeling myself tonight. I'm on some low-key shit, though. What's up, Red? What you got a question for me?
Yeah.
Throw out the topic or something. I mean, y'all feeling me? What's up?
I want to talk about the arts, right? You have a very beautiful art style. You have a strong impact. I'm sure a lot of people had told you your style is dope and everything. I said to Cambada, I was like, I really can't pinpoint too many sisters from the West Side that's talking that talk. You know what I mean? So let us know, who are some of your influences? Like, what made you get into that vibe? Because a lot of sisters that are rapping right now, they're rapping a little bit of the lower frequency and whatnot. You decided to take it to a higher frequency. So what made you tap into that?
You know what? So thank you for the question. And what I will say is, I do really appreciate the presence of women in hip hop right now. It's coming through strong, kicking doors in. It's beautiful. It's beautiful to see these powerful Black women kind of stepping in on such a large scale. Now, in my opinion, I just want to speak on what you spoke on about the lower frequency idea. When I think about it, I think about the fact that Black women haven't always had autonomy. We haven't always had autonomy over our bodies, even over our wombs, when you think about it. And we carry a lot of generational trauma in our breasts, in our wombs, yonis. And we gotta acknowledge facts. And I think with hip hop, because hip hop for so long has been such a male dominated genre, women are now finally being heard. And this is not overlooking MC like Queen La, some of the greats, Lil Kim, Foxy, Rhapsody, some of the women that paved the path. But what we're seeing is, hip hop coming from women on a larger scale. And I think because we're also right in the middle of a sensual sexual revolution, we are taking back our power. Give me that shit back. Give me back my womb space. Big pussy energy, right? And so that energy is gonna come through strong in hip hop, because hip hop has been so like masculine energy. So right now what's happening is like the balance. And so of course, like that first, I call it the first wave of like powerful women in hip hop, we gonna come through and we gonna be on some.
Do the basic.
Because when you think about it, the yoni is the portal, the vortex, the portal for all life. And so taking back that power and feeling empowered, I think this is a wave. And so while this wave is activated, I'm definitely riding the wave because I love like playing with my sensuality. I love expressing that through my music. I love talking about the power of my breasts, the power of my nipples, my womb. I love womb affirmations and, you know, yoni talk. But for me, my perspective is if we can harness and cultivate this energy to create life and give birth, what other powerful things can we birth? What powerful empires can we give life to? The communities. And if you ask me, Black women reign supreme. And so right now what's happening is we've taken hip hop and we just balancing the energies and then we gonna put it back out. But for me, it's about expressing that divine feminine essence in hip hop. I grew up listening to all the rappers. I love Cash Money. I spent a lot of my childhood in New Orleans, so I was always listening to Juvie and Birdman and Wayne, Master P. I always thought I was a young, Birdman or Master P anyways. And so many other dope artists. But I bring them up to say is, there were so many things that I could relate to in hip hop because of the struggle and the story, but also there was a lot of things that I couldn't relate to. And there's some really dope artists out there that uplift and empower women, but for the most part, the mainstream is like, I love what hip hop represents. It gives us the opportunity to tell our story. For so long, we weren't allowed to speak. We had to hold our tongue. We had to deal with disrespect. There was certain sacrifices that had to be made. We was forced to forget our native language. And so hip hop is a really powerful a platform of expression. And I think now more than ever, we're telling our story. We're being heard. It's the most popping genre of music in the world. And so my intention is to just sprinkle that energy, that conscious, high frequency dialogue shit that we talk about. I put it in the rhymes. If I don't normally like how I'm being spoken to through hip hop, then I'm going to use the same channel and I'm going to speak to women the way that I want to be spoken to. I'm going to uplift women, and it's a new standard of beauty, and so for me, especially in my visuals, beauty is this. Beauty is lips, beauty is hips, it's ass, it's jiggle, it's stretch marks, it's melanin, it's locks, it's afros, it's kink, it's all of that. And so it's important for me to tell our story, to show up for us. I'm inspired as fuck. I love hip hop. I love wordplay. I love taking prolific words and putting them together in a way that's gonna touch you right in the heart, make you feel like you got kicked or something in the soul. And so that's the inspiration for me. Music is witchcraft, it's spell work.
That's right.
I'm writing it, I'm recording it, I'm performing it, I'm listening to it, I'm saying these things repeatedly. And so if I see my best life manifest because of the music that I make, and I know 200,000 people is on Spotify listening to it, then my intention is to curate the highest frequency sound waves possible so that everybody is manifesting.
Right.
So we all on the same frequency with the music. So I just chose to activate my platform as a space for high frequency mastermind and manifestation for the community.
That's right.
Yeah.
Dope.
Give a hand for that. Now, I love the fact that you brought up manifestation. And I love the fact that you brought up, being prosperous by tapping into your talents and your skills. Because I want to know from your perspective, especially tapping into the new economy, you're an independent artist. what the struggle may be about, you know what I'm saying? As an independent artist, basically believing in yourself, investing in yourself, you know, betting on yourself, risking it all on you. I want to know from your perspective in this 2020 post-COVID reality, right? What would you tell an up-and-coming entrepreneur or a sister or a brother that's out there right now ready to step out on their own and bet on themselves, bet on their skills and their talents and their gifts and whatnot, bet on their lifestyle? They may be a newly woke reality. They may have woke up the other day, or they may be, you know, whatever. What would be your advice to somebody coming up in this new economy to tap into that wealth?
Hey, that's a dope question, Mr. Red Pill. Wow, there's so many ways to win, y'all, but the number one, first and foremost, fundamental is to love yourself.
Right.
You gotta believe in you first, otherwise nobody else gonna believe it. So the very first step is radical self-love, whatever that means to you. Find one new way every single day to fall deeper in love with you. And in the process of doing that, you tap into ultimate self-discovery. And when you give yourself the opportunity to learn more about yourself every day, you give yourself the opportunity to not only heal, but to express that creatively. You have more parts of yourself to share with the world. And so be ready to spend some money. Be ready to invest in you. Be ready to bet it all. Do the marketing, do the ads, get in the studio, make music. But whatever it is you do, just be consistent. Consistency is key. If you say you're going to release a video every Monday at 7:11 p.m., then release a video every Monday at 7:11 p.m. Build the core fan base, even if it's only 5 or 10 people. But it's all about being authentic. It's free to be you. We spend so much time, money, energy, all the same thing, but we spend so much of it trying to be something that we're not.
Right.
Trying to be something society makes us think we gotta be. And so we waste a lot of time trying to do that. So the more you tune into you, the more time you spend with self. Just think about it. From this point forward, you and you is your best friend. Y'all best friends. How you showing up for you? Tap in, look in the mirror every day, at least 5 minutes, and go in on the mirror affirmations. Look at yourself, see yourself. Really see yourself, really look at yourself, really speak life into yourself. These radical self-care rituals every day is what leads to ultimate success, ultimate clarity. You do your rituals, you drink your water, you stay hydrated, tap into alkaline vegetables and meals. Because we gotta keep our mind sharp, we gotta keep our bodies flexible, fluid. You wanna run fast, jump high. You wanna be flexible, so take care of yourself. When you take care of yourself, nobody can tell you nothing about you and who you are and what your value is. And when you get in that mode, that's when all abundance and prosperity activates. So do what you gotta do on a personal self-care level to get in your creative bag while simultaneously being on your independent boss mogul shit. So who's your favorite artist? Who's your favorite leader? Watch videos, study them, study the interviews. If you're an artist, if you do music, is your music on Spotify? Get the Spotify for Artists app. Get the Bandcamp for Artists app. Tap into Bandcamp. It's like I ask people out here, I'm like, you got Cash App or Venmo? And they're like, oh, it's not an Atlanta thing. And I'm like, okay, I get it, but Venmo, just having it is just one more channel for abundance. It's just one more, so just activate everything around you. You got a friend that do video, collaborate. We gotta create our own economy. Jeff does clothing, he does design. My homies over here got the adornments, you feel me? My homie back here got the crowns. We got the vegan food back here in the back. We got the kids, come on, we out here. We got everything we need. So tap in to people around you. What are your skill sets? Skill sets is the new currency. That's what Red said earlier. So identify your gifts. What are you the best at? Write it down. Come to the table. Meet somebody. They come to the table with the skill sets, and y'all build from there, whether it's creative, business, romantic, any type of relationships. Always set the foundation with a powerful intention. Make sure you're always on the same page with whoever it is you're collaborating with. Because when two people come together with the same intention, it's nothing but a divine life force energy that's blessing your space. So stay inspired, stay healthy so you can live long enough to do this and see the rewards of what you build. And we talking about generational wealth every day, everywhere I go. We talking about generational wealth. We gonna be billionaires in no time because that's all we speaking on. And so if that's what we're creating, we gotta match that physically, energetically, so that we can live our fullest expanded version, so we can really experience the wealth that we're creating for the ones that we're passing it down to. So stay committed, stay consistent, daily dedication, and you won.
Come on, y'all can do better than that. She out here life coaching. We're talking about. Before we wrap it up, I want you to give the family an announcement about anything that you got upcoming, and let the YouTube family know where they can find you at in cyberspace, right? Yeah, I know they're gonna want to go ahead and stream that album, go and stream that catalog. You know what I'm talking about? So give them the information, any announcements.
All right, for sure. So as stated previously, my name is Lizzy Jeff, LIZZY-JEFF. They call me the Rap Priestess. Some call me the West Coast Wave Goddess. You feel me? But I'm known as a medicine woman worldwide. And you can find me on all streaming platforms. Hit my Bandcamp page. You feel me? LizzyJeff.com. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm about to kick off the whole industry as soon as all these visuals come through, y'all. Stay tuned. I've been working really, really diligently. I've been really putting in work. I've been tapped in. I've been drinking my water. I've been eating my kale. I've been giving love. I've been walking from the heart space. You feel me? Speaking my truths. Got that throat chakra activated. So everything I touch turned to gold. And that's just facts. And so I never felt more inspired in my life. I never felt more tapped in. I never felt more connected to my purpose, to my mission. I'm in my bag. You feel me? And it's a vibe. Tribe is lit. We look good. We look good. Let's give it up for ourselves. So I got a new album coming on 11/11. It's actually the most prolific thing I've ever created in my life. So y'all stay tuned. But if you're on IG, tap in with me. Let's build. Hit me up in the DM. What's your skill set? What's your resources? I'm here. I'm in the A. I'm here. I'm ready. Let's win. Let's thrive. Let's heal. What's your question, Queen? Yes, it's going to be LIZZY-JEFF. And you can email me at LizzyJeff@yahoo.com. You can also hit my website, LizzyJeff.com.
That's right.
I appreciate y'all. Thank you for holding space for me. Yeah.
All right, give it up.
A lot has been activated.
All right, we're gonna get to some music, and then we'll be following up with our other special guest for tonight, Sister IMINAH in the building. Give her a hand, please. Yes, indeed. All right, 5 more minutes. We'll be bringing Sister IMINAH on. Thank you.
Next level of our ascension, but it feels good, it sounds good. You want to sing it every day. You feel me? And so I'm working on some new shit. And I'm excited. So that's dropping, sometimes, during the season, we don't see. So I've been in the paper route, call me Mr. Postman. I just got a couple pills from my favorite postman. I wrote down the list of answers from personal feelings to do it. I think that was holding me back. I couldn't even believe it. I even reached out to Jesus. Even accomplished achievements in spite of my demons, in spite of their treason. I don't agree with their reasons, that shit is displeasing, no matter their reason. People that agree cause they preachers like me, who've been screaming like preachers for seasons. I just admitted that the ancestors still living through our vision, intention, commitment to ascension. It's imperative that you listen on our channel, these prescriptions from dimensions you can't visit, because you truly dedicated to the mission and descendants. This our legacy. How you shine, come break bread with me. Say I've been on a paper route, call me Mr. Postman. I just got a couple pills from my favorite one. My whole family is home, they just ain't flexing for the brand. I had to get in my own before I could get in my van. I had some personal things to do it, I think that was holding me back. I couldn't even believe it. I even reached out to Jesus. Even accomplished achievements in spite of my demons, in spite of their treason. I don't agree with their reasons, that shit is displeasing, no matter their reason. People that agree cause they preachers like me, who've been screaming like preachers for seasons. I just admitted that the ancestors still living through our vision, intention, commitment to ascension. It's imperative that you listen on our channel, these prescriptions from dimensions you can't visit, because you truly dedicated to the mission and descendants. That's our legacy. How you showing up? Come break bread with me. See us growing up. You want justice? Who got guns up? If they bust this, who gon' run us? Who gon' fund us? Who gon' love us? Who gon' fight for us? I said fuck them other systems, cause I'm down for my victims. I ride for my brothers, I ride for my sisters. I said fuck them other systems. This is a new world order, I just hope that you listen. Call me Mr. Postman. I just got a couple pills from my favorite dope man. I wrote down the list of answers, smoking with my whole family. In on the bank account, ain't flexing for the brand. I had to get in my own before I could get in my bag. I had some personal feelings to do, but I think that was holding me back. I couldn't even believe it. I even reached out to Jesus. Even accomplished achievements in spite of my demons, in spite of their treason. I don't agree with their reasons, that shit is displeasing, no matter their cases. People that agree cause they preachers like me, who've been screaming like preachers for seasons. I just seen it vivid that the ancestors still living through our vision, intention, commitment to ascension. It's imperative that you listen when I channel these prescriptions from dimensions you can't visit, because you truly dedicated to the mission. Here we go. This our legacy. How you showing up? Come break bread with me. You see us growing up. You want justice? Who got guns up? If they bust this, who gon' run us? Who gon' fund us? Who gon' love us? Who gon' fight for us? I say fuck them other systems, cause I'm down for my victims. I'll ride for my brothers, I'll ride for my sisters. I say fuck them other systems. This is new world order, I just hope that you listen. Hey.
Yeah.
License you, my materials. You don't hold my materials anymore. But I'm gonna take the big show over here to the homie. That's why I have redemption when people call it as a masturbation. You damn right, he's the master of his catalog. He's the master of his words. He's the master of his archives. You feel me? He's the master of the ceremony, right? Very few artists have been able to achieve it. But the ones that have, we've seen it demise. I'm a 100%. Red and blue purple like Prince. Red and blue purple the Benz. Change up the circle of friends. The net will circle the twins. 65 ever since. 70 watts in the Prince. Red and blue purple like 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 Prince. We feeling the urge, feeling the purge. This is electric, we feeling the words. Feeling the words, killing the birds with immunity. Killing the unity. This is the 400 Voltron. This is the age of the Ultron. This is the same stage as the post-bomb. This is the stage with the snow storm. Copper pound came on the scene. I was copper down. Holy Ghost was copper ground. All right, family. All right. So, without any further ado, we're gonna open up the stage and the portals for, wait, before I even say anything, I'm totally out of line. I have the throne unoccupied. I need a goddess to get up here on that throne right there. So do we have any volunteers for one of the goddesses to occupy that throne while we tap in? Yeah, let me move this bag out of the way. All right, do we have any one of our sisters in the building that want to sit up here? Right, there you go. All right, give her a hand, y'all. Come on down. Come on in. Yes. That's right. Let me help you up. Yes, indeed. Yeah, don't step on the brother suitcase. All right. Offset occupies the throne, right? Watch the throne. Okay? Permission to speak. There you go. Thank you. I appreciate that. So, now that we got things in perfect alignment, I want to open up the stage for another light in our community, right? The sister is no stranger to Atlanta, and specifically the West End. She's planting her seeds out here, right? Almost a decade ago. And when you walk these streets and you see the fruits that have bared, right? All of the ripe fruit, all of the movements, all of this energy, all of this electricity that is charging up Atlanta, you know, we have to point our fingers at the people that are responsible for helping to light this grid up. And one of those people is my next guest, a sister who needs no introduction, but I'm going to introduce her anyway. Another light shining out of the West, all right? A goddess. Matter of fact, Ghetto to Goddess, one of the leaders of the Ghetto to Goddess movement. Our sister, very talented, very gifted, a singer, a dancer, a teacher, an orator. Our sister, your sister, Sister IMINAH. Please give her a hand, y'all. There she goes.
Ashe. Give it up for my brother Red Pill in the building. Come on, y'all give him a black hand right. 8-minute infinite epic intro. Give it up for yourselves, Atlanta, being in the building. Oh, look at this divine alignment. My brother Blue Pill just graced us with his majestic presence as well. Ashe. Brother Blue Pill in the building. We're here at Unity and Coffee. Give it up for all of the staff, the DJ, everyone that's here. My sister Lizzy Jeff. Give it up for Lizzy Jeff. And it's beautiful. We're here in this cosmic, aligned, divine space. Again, I'm your sister IMINAH, coming to you from Ghetto to Goddess, from Oakland to Atlanta to the world. And it's so beautiful to be here. As Red said, over a decade ago, you know, I was here with many people doing many great things. And Atlanta is a place that I came here in 2004, and many of you who are familiar with my story, many of you who will get familiar with my story know that Atlanta is somewhere you can lose yourself and you can find yourself all at the same blessed time. Ashe. And so for me, when I first came to Atlanta in 2004, yes, I know, I was like 10, okay, maybe not. But when I first came to Atlanta in 2004, it was a totally different city. The West End was a completely different environment. There were many things going on and there were a lot of things going wrong. And so I found myself, even though I was raised in a more conscious vibration, I found myself totally lost here, running the streets with, I don't know who was here when BMF was here back in the day, and when the Atlanta club movement was popping, and it was a lot of big things dropping. And so I found myself caught up in the streets of Atlanta, I came here to go to Spelman. Anybody from the AUC in the building? Okay, we have one CAU, but where everybody else? Y'all went fooling with college or what happened? You are the college, Ashe. But yes, I came here to attend Spelman, but after 2 years here, I found myself as a college dropout, and I was majoring in the strip clubs of Atlanta and majoring in a whole bunch of stuff that was not leading me on the best path. And so after finding myself almost losing my life, finding myself surrounded by people who were getting taken down by bad drugs, or who were getting caught up with cases, who are still in prison now, or people who lost their lives, RIP to all my fallen ones, I hit rock bottom. And in hitting rock bottom, one of the beautiful things about that is the only way you can really go is up, or you can smash yourself down into the ground. And so for me, I was really blessed to become immersed into the community here. And so there were many master teachers that I was able to connect with, and many people who helped me to get the knowledge, the wisdom, the skills, the tools to heal and elevate my life. And so that is how From Ghetto to Goddess came. At the time when I look at where I was 13, 14, 15 years ago in Atlanta, I didn't see a future for myself. I had the WAP kind of mentality before that was something that is now promoted on a mass level. And so when you are caught up in just how you can make it rain or get rained on, you're getting blocked from tapping into your divine gifts, your divine purpose, and your divine power, and being able to have a divine presence in this world. And so I found myself 15 years ago not seeing a future, being blocked from my gifts and my talents. And then after getting introduced to my spiritual heritage in terms of African spirituality, in terms of the Kemetic legacy, the Nubian legacy, in terms of the Yoruba, Ghanaian, so many different parts of African culture that are available to us. Once I really tapped into my ancestral gifts, then my spirit and my presence began to ascend. So people who knew me 15 years ago didn't know any of my talents because I didn't know any of my talents. And so that's something that I definitely want to encourage everyone here and everyone watching. Shout out to everyone online coming up, with us in this divine alignment online as well. It's very important that the more you feed your spirit, the more that you can grow and flow into the world. And so that's been a beautiful thing and a beautiful place for me to be. And I just pray that all of us, soul and spirit, can continue to be free. Ashe? So Brother Red Pill, what are we doing, brother? I know you're on Daddy Daycare. Give it up for Wisdom Bella in the building. This has been so beautiful to see her in the flesh. I've only been seeing her online. Our young star seed. Yes. But now she is here, your little twin.
That's right. She is here to stay, and she is here to make a statement. I'm gonna be bringing her up afterwards as well, so she can say a thing or two. The theme that we were touching on today was, the fact that our brothers and sisters are now being celebrated for their skills, their talents, and their gifts. And by bringing on two artists, I was also celebrating, what it is that you're bringing to the genre, right? Of, powerful women who are in the arts, who are redefining the arts, because you do a fusion of Afro beats, reggae, hip hop, like you're not in one box and whatnot, right? So I just wanted to know if you have some advice, because everybody that I run into, especially in places like New York, in Atlanta, everyone is immersing themselves in the arts. Everyone is finding an art, they're finding their gifts, because some people will try to talk down to the fact that there's so many people rapping or singing and whatnot. They're like, yeah, everybody's a rapper now. And I'm like, well, what if everybody has discovered a part of themselves that they all have? You know, you can't judge. So what would be your word of advice for the young sister, the young brother out there, the up and comings who, because you've been around the world, you've been to Africa, you've been performing all around the world, doing your thing. What would be some professional advice for the creators out there?
Thank you. That's a powerful question, and one that my journey has really allowed me to answer through growing and flowing and, you know, just organically developing. The more you know about your history, the less that your purpose will be a mystery. I say. So yes, again, the more you know about your history, the less that your purpose will be a mystery. When we look at what we see now as the explosion of hip hop culture and the explosion of Black music, when you really tap into the narrative that our ancestors left us and the historical records that are there, especially looking at how traditional African culture was situated, there were no boombox, there was no radio, you know what I'm saying? There was no CDs, DVDs, there was no iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, etc. We were that. And so music was a very central part of who we are as a people. And music was used when there was a time to celebrate. Music and sound healing was used for healing when people were sick, when people were going to battle to motivate them, when people were coming back from battle to celebrate their wins or also to lament their losses, when people were planting new crops or harvesting new food, making prayers, making offerings, going through different things. Music was a very essential part of our existence as a people. And so that means that if music was a central part of who we are, then everyone in the different towns, cities, city-states, villages, there were many musicians around because we always had to have music around us. If you look at how the kingdoms and queendoms were, and the rulers of different kingdoms, each king in many cultures, especially throughout West Africa, had their own personal jelly or griot or musician or their storyteller that was their whole life purpose, was to be with the king, to be with the royalty, to be with the society, to really tell the story of the people and give the right words at the right time. That was divine in line. And so when we look at us now coming into what we know as hip hop culture, if you take an unbiased look at traditional African culture and traditional indigenous culture as well, you will see that music is embedded in everything that we do. And so what we call hip hop right now, it's been many different things for hundreds, thousands, and I would say even millions of years, because we as a people have existed in some form or fashion for at least the last 3.2 million years. And so there's a whole lot of history that is a mystery to us. But again, when you tap into your history, your purpose will no longer be a mystery. Ashe. Thank you.
That was an excellent answer. I want to dive a little bit into the African traditional systems with you, because you did just gloss on that. And you did mention that you were tapped into the culture. So we're in Atlanta. There is a new found and a heightened fervor amongst the younger generations to immerse themselves in the African traditional cultures. So as a practitioner and somebody who is fully immersed in it, can you speak to the family online, and can you speak to the family in the audience about some of the pros of being tapped in to African traditional systems?
Definitely. Thank you for that question. I hope I can give a good answer. So as he said, I am tapped in, I am an initiated IMINAH, that's an Ifa priestess, and so that is a journey. I'm actually in my 10-year anniversary of really getting introduced into, both system and that way. I been seeing, learning from 2010 to 2017. The very beginning of 2017, I was blessed to go to Africa, to travel to the land of my ancestors in Oshogbo, Osun State, Nigeria, and become initiated to Ifa. And I also work with many other orishas or energy fields or forces of nature or ancestral bodies of wisdom that we know as orishas. And I also, when me and Red Pill, Blue Pill, and the whole family connected back in the day, I was living and studying with a Kemetic priestess, Dr. Sharifa Saad, RIP, in the West End, where I, studied and was initiated into the Kemetic mystery system through her prior to being initiated to Ifa. And I look at myself as like a living cultural anthropologist. As part of what led me to music is, being so involved in my spiritual ascension and just realizing how big music was in healing us. I want to say to everyone who is interested in learning African culture and African spirituality, that it's very important that you don't get immersed in colonized information. Because a lot of our information has been pre-colonized and, just put in a way to where it's going to put you in a state of confusion before you even get into it. A lot of things that, are stereotypical or pseudo or totally disrespectful to how things are actually done in Africa are promoted here in America. It's like the way to do things. And people think that African spirituality is just kind of a free-for-all, and if you just, feel something, or you like yellow and you like looking pretty, so then you're just all about Oshun, or you're a playboy, so you like to be Shango, and it's just not that. Like, African spirituality is not something that is just how the wind blows. This is spiritual science. And so it's very important that we look at our culture from a way of knowing that our spirituality is really spiritual science, to where there is a scientific method that people call rituals, or people call, black magic, white magic, voodoo, what have you. These are all things that have been tried and true for hundreds, thousands, millions of years. And so it's important for us to have respect for ourselves, integrity for ourselves, and discipline to actually do the work, make the investment of your time, your energy, your resources to find the real master teachers, and to make sure that any information that you're getting into and becoming part of your lifestyle is actually authentic and really linked to the source, not just linked to something on the internet or something that people are kind of surmising or guessing to you. So we all do have the power, and we do have the privilege to tap into our ancestral culture, wisdom, knowledge, but we have to do it the right way, and we have to have integrity, and we have to look at it seriously, not just as a fad or something that's trendy or something that looks cool or looks dope. A lot of stuff is very, it's not pretty, but the results are beautiful. A lot of stuff is not always pleasant, but it's gonna deeply bless your life. Most of the things that give us the best healing, especially when you're dealing with herbs and herbal healing, most of the things that have the sweetest results are gonna have the most bitter taste. And so you gotta pay the cost to be the boss. So I can say, for myself, I paid the cost to be the boss of what I'm doing, and I'm continuously paying my taxes to keep ascending. So it's really that serious, because when you actually go to Africa and you really see how people who were not interrupted by enslavement and who were able to go through, dodging colonialism and all those things, how serious it is there, then you have a deeper level of reverence. And I thought I had that before going, but now, I'm 3 trips in, continuously connected, continuously growing. And that's another thing too, because being initiated now is something that's becoming kind of trendy in a way. And Nigeria has over 106 million plus Black people. So, you know, anywhere there's a whole bunch of black folks, you know, you're gonna have some scammers in the mix. You're gonna have some people in there faking the fun. So not every person that you meet in Africa is actually tapped in. You know, a lot of people are trying to learn their stuff now because they see it's profitable, it's popular. But I want to make sure people know that just because you get initiated, that does not mean you're a priest or a priestess. That just means you now have the credential to become a priest or priestess with the proper training, the proper knowledge, going through the right rites. Just as you look at things like Freemasonry or fraternities and sororities. When I actually traveled to Africa and was initiated, because I was, you know, hazed or what have you when I was a part of Morehouse's band, the HOF, House of Fun, Another Lifetime. I was a majorette back in the day before I went into other forms of dance, other establishments in Atlanta. But at that time, you know, you wore all white as a crab. Who saw the movie Drumline? Remember that? Everybody was crabs and they would just come in on a t-shirt. We had our white shirts at all times. When you're going into fraternity or sorority, you know, a Black Greek fraternity or sorority, you're wearing white. Guess what? When I went to Nigeria, in Yoruba land, in the Sacred Grove, and I'm going through my initiation, I wore white. They talk about people having to do all these crazy things and walking on glass and burning sand and all this and that. Those are all things that are taken from ancient African mysteries. But now these things really don't have a meaning in the Black Greek culture. Whereas when you go to Africa, every single thing you do, you eat, you wear has a very deep meaning. And it's all, again, it's part of a scientific method that we now know as a ritual. But these are really things that have been tried and true, and they worked for hundreds, thousands, millions of years. That's why we keep doing it. That's how it becomes our culture. So it's very important for us, as I call us born again Africans. Us as born again Africans, we have to know that a lot of African culture was not interrupted. So we don't have to guess. We don't have to freestyle. We don't have to, you know, just feel spirit happen. Like, we can't come in as culturally appropriating our own ancestral lineage, but that's something that happens. So we got to make sure that we don't come in that way, that we have respect, love for ourselves, love for our ancestors, and we're just authentically direct and connected to what we need to do. Stand true. Thank you, my sister.
You have an initiative entitled From Ghetto to Goddess that speaks to the myriad or the plethora of issues that young women have coming up in society. Can you briefly just talk to the family about what Ghetto to Goddess is about and what the vision for that company is?
Thank you. Wow, it's kind of full circle. You asking me that. I remember the first lecture I did for From Ghetto to Goddess was in this area about 8 years ago at Healthful Essence with Professor Griff. Shout out to Professor Griff. He was the first person to put me on, period. And also Dr. Wesley Muhammad. So, and that just happened to be like the exact day and time that Whitney Houston was found dead. So that was like a very spiritual time, because it was like, wow, I just did my first lecture talking about this whole topic of our ascension and Black women and just us making it through all these different challenges. And then literally when I'm done, they're like, oh, Whitney Houston was just found dead in her hotel, and her journey represented her going from goddess to ghetto. And then she was on that rise, coming back again from ghetto to goddess. So that was really deep that time. But looking at From Ghetto to Goddess, so 8 years ago, you know, I had gone through my ascension, becoming a, you know, Kemetic priestess, doing energy healing, crystal healing, and getting deeper into African spirituality, African history. I got to give some love to the Shrine of the Black Madonna. They were one of the first places that helped me to like get back in touch with my consciousness by going to their African history class. I think I attended their class for like 3 years straight, every weekend. So a lot of my songs and what I do comes from that foundation of first learning African history and culture again. At that time when I created it, I just wanted to share with people a lot of things that helped me go from, the mentality I had, which was a ghetto mentality in terms of not seeing myself as a truly valuable person, only judging myself based on the standards that society wants to put on Black women in terms of a ride or die chick, you twerking, you making it rain, face down, whatever else stuff, you already know what it is. So I was into all of that. Learning my history, learning my culture, did so much for me and for my self-esteem and healed me in so many ways that I created From Ghetto to Goddess to help other sisters and brothers on their journey, because everyone has a belly button, so everybody comes from the goddess. So we know that and we show that. At that time, I was just trying to take something to the community, doing lectures, things like that. But as I got deeper into it, I realized that we really need to meet people where they are. And a lot of our youth are in school. So in terms of taking this from the street to the school districts, I can, now stand here and say that 8 years after trying to come out and publicly do that, I now am running an entire initiative that's serving thousands of girls in Oakland, where I'm from, that is the African American Female Excellence Initiative. So I am creating, developing, implementing specific culturally relevant programming for girls and young women throughout all the schools in Oakland. That's middle, elementary, and high schools. And I've also been blessed to be put in a position to help create laws that are now on school board record and part of the school codes to really attack a lot of these ghetto policies and practices that institutions have that are affecting our youth, and especially our Black girls and girls of color. So that's been something that, in tandem with the work I do in the community and a lot of things that people see as I'm moving in this space, I also have a whole other side where I'm really putting everything that I talk about into practice and codifying it into law and getting our reparations in that way, in terms of using the money that's already allocated to serve our students in the right way. So that is where From Ghetto to Goddess is right now. We currently are running that district-wide initiative in Oakland. We also are running a Girls of Color task force in Oakland, and I'm working on ways, and that's even why I'm here in Atlanta right now, is seeing how can we bring this to Atlanta and other places, to where we have the opportunity to really use our resources to give our youth the truth of who they are so that they can be the best that they can be, and we can continue to raise society. Ashe.
Definitely. Y'all give Sister IMINAH a hand, man. Let them know where they can find you at on social media, both the music and the Ghetto to Goddess, the advocacy.
Thank you. So you can definitely connect with me on Instagram at SISTAH IMINAH. That's SISTAH_IMINAH. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. Also, YouTube is a great place. You can check out my music. I have a few music videos out. I'm actually in the process of getting ready to do a whole launch of my visual album. So I'm working with some really dope people around that, and I'm very excited and thankful for what is forthcoming for that. I also, in terms of what's happening with work in the school district, you can go to ousd.org/AFI, that's African American Female Excellence, and you can just check out what we're doing in Oakland and think about how you can bring that to where you are, because things like this happen when we show up and when we show out. So me even getting that institutionalized in Oakland was a 5-year journey. It's something that you can't be new to this, you have to be true to this. And I had to sacrifice, I had to have a lot of sleepless nights. I had to just dedicate myself and, go into, damn near a cave for some time and get things where they needed to be, so that now I can come out, I can stand out, I can say it. The results speak for themselves. And a lot of times, so many people have a lot of great ideas, what the community needs, but then it's another thing to show what the community needs. So that was even how I wound up, kind of stepping away from this community for a little minute, because I said, I gotta have some results to stand on, you know what I'm saying? It's tangible eternity. So
That's right.
that's where we at.
That's right. I feel the same way. Like I said, we're gonna make some things happen out here, tangible things. So once again, give this sister a hand, man. I'm telling you, I see the growth. I see the journey. I'm a witness. I'm here to testify. The sister is on her journey. She is evolving by the day, and I'm so proud of her. And I'm always gonna be there with you. Yeah, call my agent about that album that you're about to do, because I do features. Anyway, yeah. So, yeah, give her a hand. Let's go. All right. Thank you, Amina. Indeed, I'll share. All right. So, would you like to address the family by any chance, Blue? Anything you want to say? Oh, yeah, we got to let the bro, yeah. Give him a hand. Give my brother Blue Pill. Young God, Blue Pill in the building. Coming off of a successful 7-day meditation with Brother Rich in the Black Magic 363 channel. They made some very powerful things happen last week. So I'm gonna let Brother Blue Pill tap in real quick. Yes indeed, y'all. Peace, love, and light. Peace to the family. Once again, shout out to Cafe 640 and the establishment here for keeping the doors open and the lights on, so we can have a gathering space here in Atlanta. And my story culminates pretty much like everybody else's. Every time I come to Atlanta, my heart grows bigger and bigger and bigger with a vision of what this place has the potential to be. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that I always meet so many dope creatives, so many artists, so many eclectic people, so many, open-minded, free people, you know what I'm saying? The continued advocacy for Atlanta to be, quote unquote, the new Black Mecca, or at least the meeting ground of where we create some of these hubs at, so we can go out throughout the rest of this world and just bring our message, our gifts, our testimony, our talents, and continue to build bridges to give other people opportunities, to come out of the darkness. You know what I'm saying? And to find out that they do have family, that they're not alone, that, this is more so these days a common conversation rather than one that people are just having on their own, just in their own head. So, like the brother said, we were able to do a successful 7-day virtual chakra meditation retreat, helping people go through chakra blockages through a 7-day process. It was a very intense journey, but people were able to break through, and able to utilize technology as a tool in which you can now reach people wherever they're at, in their living rooms, in their homes, in whatever country they're in. You know what I'm saying? This is definitely taking it to the next level. And, 2020 has shaped it up to be by far the best year ever, And I can only speak for myself, and that's not being dismissive of anybody who has any difficulties this year. You know what I'm saying? We're here for you. But at the same time, we cannot miss the opportunity to acknowledge and celebrate, all of the wonder that is 2020. You know what I'm saying? And all of the opportunities that creators always going to furnish an opportunity. They're always going to put something in front of you for you to forge. You feel me? Everything is not coming pre-packaged. Sometimes you just might get the ingredients and it's like, look, make a cake, do something with that. So for those of us who have figured out how to take those ingredients and tweak what it is that we need to tweak to come up with what it is that we've come up with, we can acknowledge that there's a different level of freedom. Especially in the past 30 days, I've been hearing people who are receptive to energy, even people who are not even necessarily on the wave, talk about, man, I just woke up and it's just so much available energy. It's just so much this and just so much that. You know, these are different times, and it's not gonna come on CNN. They're not gonna come on MSNBC and be like, "Yo, the shift took place." That's just not how it's gonna happen. You got to keep your ear to the ground. You have to keep your pulse on, nature. You have to keep your eyes to the skies. You know what I'm saying? To really understand, and you have to be quiet enough to hear your own internal conversations, to know that we are in the midst of a shift, right? The days don't have no more power. I can't even tell you when the last time I seen the police. I just can't. You feel me? I just have not. And this is Atlanta. I seen them, they was chilling, matter of fact. I seen like the other day, they was parked up and it looked like they was parking lot pimping or something. They was not working. You feel me? So I don't even know who these people is that they keep talking about. There's supposed to be so much of these adversaries and all of that. That's part of the old paradigm. You understand? You have to change the way that you look at things, and the way and what you look at changes. So just free your own mind. Like, know that there are no blockages. Know that there are no boogeymen. You know what I'm saying? It's only you and your excuses. You got to figure out how to get over that mountain. You know what I'm saying? What are you willing to give? How deep are you willing to dig into this thing until you hit groundswell and you hit oil? Are you ready for that? Because some people scared of success. You feel me? So they make all of these excuses and all of these boogeymen and all of this. You know what I'm saying? They self-sabotaging. But 2020 is going to be the year when all of those excuses get stripped away from you. And you're going to have to look at yourself and be like, yo, this was always on me. I shortchanged myself. I bought into these excuses. You feel me? I was a 5-year-old that believed in the boogeyman and stuff like that. And I had to go to sleep with the lights on. And I never dealt with that. So my boogeyman just got bigger. You feel me? And my bedroom just became the whole world. You understand? But as long as we are willing to address these things, confront them and deal with them and conquer them, whole world of opportunities are gonna open up to you. You know what I'm saying? Things that you just could not even fathom. They're just gonna start opening up. And you just gotta step up to the plate and hit these home runs. And before you know it, like you done inspired the homie down the block. You done inspired your cousins and them to be watching you on IG talking about that nigga crazy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you just gonna be inspiring people. There's gonna be another NLE chopper. You understand? Like, the young is gonna latch on to this. So just give yourself enough credit to know that you are headed in the right direction. Hold on, that's a ball. Give yourself enough credit to know that you are headed in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? Trust your feet. Trust your mind. You know what I'm saying? Trust that you have the necessary magnet in your mind to navigate you through the darkness. The darkness is not that spooky. We come from it. Right? You gotta own it. You gotta consume it. Right? Inhale that shit. Let it sit on your lungs for a minute. Right? As long as you dismiss these spook factors, everything else is just gonna open up to you. Because that's our last barrier. That's our last vestige. Is we scared of the dark. You understand? The minute you conquer that, and you deal with all of the stuff that's attached to darkness or the shadows, like the boogeyman, you know what I'm saying? Like the white boy and all of that bull crap. The minute you dismiss all of that out of your reality, it's only gonna be you left with your ideas, and then you gotta have to build on them. And that's it. So we are at the cusp of a whole new world, a whole new reality. We got our power back. It's yours to own. You can license and lease it now. You don't have to give it away for free. All right? And with that, I want to say peace, love, and light. Peace, y'all. Come on, y'all can do better than that. Let's keep on. Smooth here. In lieu of what he just was talking about with conquering the darkness, and then I seen the God walk in the green, Get a God a hand. That's my peoples right there. New York. Fire vibes too. I remember a trip that we took this weekend. And when Blue Pill talks about conquering your fears and whatnot, the trip that I took this weekend, that my daughter Bella joined me on. Say hi, Bella.
Hi.
Yes. We went to the Tennessee mountains. Right? Yeah. We went off the grid. There's about 10 of us, and we took a trip about an hour and a half away past the Blue Ridge Mountains, which are the first mountains that they found in Georgia that had gold in it. And we went into the Tennessee mountains, which is erroneously titled Cherokee Mountains. And we tapped into what is known as sovereignty. And getting over your fears is going out into the forest in the middle of the night in pitch black, when you're hearing the crickets sing and coyotes and you're hearing howling in the distance. And you might hear footsteps in the woods, and it's only you and another person, and you like, y'all ain't stepping, so who's stepping? If you're defocalized, you might start hearing drums of the Seminole Warriors. If you defocalize enough, or like I like to say, if you tap into nature's Wi-Fi, right? There's ways of tapping in to the same way that you can tap into Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. If you in nature, you can tap into Wi-Fi's nature or nature's Wi-Fi and be completely online and start getting all kind of downloads the same way when you're on Optimum. So I want to bring my daughter as a witness and find out, how was your experience on the mountaintop? Because I brought my daughter to the mountaintop. You know, in church they talk about going to the mountaintop. But let me say this. For those of you who climbed to the top of Stone Mountain before, and for those of you who might have made it to the top of Mount Everest, or whatever mountain that you stood on top of, I'm here to say this. If you ever want to know what freedom looks like, feels like, smells like, go to the top of a mountain in your lifetime. It's free. Ain't no white people finna get in your way. There's no restriction. Nobody's stopping you. The only thing you need is four-wheel drive, because I promise you, if you make the wrong turn going up that mountain, no, that's a real life journey. It's almost like scuba diving, because you're putting it all at risk to get to the top. But Bella, what did it feel like when we were going up the mountain and we were in the truck and whatnot, and we were seeing all of the trees and stuff? Go ahead.
Well,
Tell us how it felt.
Yeah, how did
You
it
gotta
feel?
tell us how it felt.
Like when you were looking out the window, what were you thinking?
up the mountain. Well,
Tell us about how when you brought the sun out.
Okay,
What did you do
yeah.
when the
All
sun
right,
out?
let's talk about when we made it to the mountaintop, and it was very cloudy. It was chilly that day because we had to put on hoodies and sweatpants and stuff. And America, remember the sister America who was drumming? And we started to sing, right? What was the song? Do you remember it? Do you remember the song?
the song was This Little Light of Mine.
Say it right.
This little light of mine.
And what did you do?
I sing the inside. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
That's right.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
And then what happened after you were done singing?
The sun came out.
That's what you did, baby. You did that.
You did that. You did that. Real talk. You did that. You believed in yourself. You tapped in, right? And nature did what? It answered your call, right? You know, like when we do affirmations and we talk to Luna and we talk to the sun, that's what I'm here to tell y'all, family. I'm just utilizing Bella as an example to say that for us, parents, aunties and uncles, grandfathers and grandmothers, right? We have a new generation who have come here pre-packaged, right? With all of the information that they need. They are already spiritually endowed. They already got their crown. And it is on our shoulders to create experience for them, right? To allow them to show their powers, right? Maybe not amongst their peers at the time because the peers might not understand, right? So we have to nurture their quote unquote, their spirits. We have to nurture their nature and we have to bring them into nature. We got to put them on sovereign land that we own. We have to teach them, homeschool them. The COVID-19 created the opportunity for our babies to become prodigies. And it took them out of the school system, the fool system. And it took them away from the knuckle draggers. And it took them away from the public, the school of the board of dead. Right? It took them away from that. It gave them the opportunity to travel with their parents around the world and to be worldly children and to experience the world and all that it has to offer. It gave them the opportunity to watch Bobby Hemmett and Dr. Sabi and Dr. Valentine and Queen of Ford and Mama Pill and going to eat from Mama Tassili instead of school lunch. You have to see the silver lining in everything that's going on. It's not going to just necessarily fall in your lap. Right? But my daughter told me personally that she wants to be amongst star seeds. She don't want to be amongst these children that are not of her kin. You know what I'm saying? And we live in a state, we live in a city right now where babies are being born every single day. Do you know how many beautiful, conscious families are out here? You know what I'm talking about? And they are looking for some solutions. So the land that we went to visit, I'm proud to say that the ball is rolling. There are some very, very big announcements that we will be making in the future involving that land. And we're going to be speaking about upcoming retreats because we're going to be bringing a family out there specifically for healing, right? They have camps out there. So why not bring the babies to a camp to teach them how to meditate, to teach them how to get in touch with their chakra system, to teach them how to tap into their ancestral self. Because think about this. Do you know the teachers, the children who are in school, the colleges, the child prodigies, who basically graduated or passed the test? Because that's what you got to take to get into schools like, you know, Ivy League colleges or whatnot. These children are like 12 or 13. Do you know that a majority of the parents said that the way that they taught these children is that they were teaching these children about memory? They were dealing with unlocking memory, meaning that they were approaching a 4-year-old with algebra like that 4-year-old already knew it. They were utilizing modalities of hypnotism. They are utilizing modalities of teaching where they are dealing with memory, tapping into DNA, activating dormant memory. Because you already, remember, we talking about we sitting around learning something. No, you're remembering something, putting it back together, right? Something that's inside of you. It's inherent. It's innate. Come here again, brother. Let's close you out. Right? So being on top of that mountain and experiencing that beautiful nature, you know, we were in the woods and whatnot. We were in a beautiful cabin. Did you like the cabin?
Yes.
Right? Did you feel peaceful in there when we woke up in the morning?
Yes.
Compared to how the city life is, where we're in around these buildings, concrete, cars, horns, you know, all of this stuff, smog and smoke. What made you feel better, being in a big city or being in the nature?
Being in the nature.
No doubt. From the mouth of the babes, right? Give her a hand, please. Thank you so much, Bella, for your testimony. You want to stay up here with Daddy until I wrap this up? Okay, you standing right here. This is the pink pill. So, in a few years, she'll be on these stages replacing her father, her uncle, her other uncle, KT, her grandmother, Mama Pill, because the idea is to create star seeds that are going to be better than us, right? I'm in my 40s. It took me a long time to get here. But the key is to prepare them so they don't got to go through what we went through. That's not what the young generation has come to do, to be honest with you. They're here to put on in their teenager years. They're going to be doing things that we're doing now as teenagers. They're going to be estate owners. They're going to be sovereign as teenagers. You're going to have 8-year-olds talking about they got paperwork. But hold on, what's your jurisdiction? Can you teach me? What's your nationality? You know, they're getting sharp now. So I'm so excited to be responsible for, you know, helping to open up the portal for this entity, this deity to reincarnate, because she's coming here to make some things happen. You know what I'm talking about? So I don't want to keep y'all for long, man. I think we said enough. Like I said, the purpose of Melanin Mondays, the purpose of us even being in your face is to bring you out, right? So you can meet each other. I want everybody that's sitting next to somebody, turn to them and please introduce yourself. Even if you know that person, reintroduce yourself. Yeah, become acquainted, right? Peace to the God. Come up here, man. I don't want to blow the God up, man. Come here, man. This is sandbox right here, right? Talk about, you know, linking up with people from your past. What year did we meet each other, God? 89, 90. Yeah, like 89, 90. He's known me and Blue Pill since 89, 90, right? When we were Bella's age. A little bit older. Yeah, a little bit older than that. I'm trying to be. Who's counting? But we had just came back from St. Croix, right? We had accents and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about? Things like, you know, what banana boat did you come off of? And the brother, we were in Ditmas, junior high together. And now here we are in Atlanta together. The brother's here on stage with me, right? How far would you say that we've come? A long way. Very, very long way. This is my ruler right here. This is how I measure myself. By tapping in with brothers and sisters who knew me in my earlier stages. Y'all met me on YouTube. You don't know my story. You don't know the transformation. You don't know what it took to get on these stages. He does, right? We're part of a generation where we're still looking for remnants of our generation. Facebook, that was a good invention for us. We was able to regroup. So I want to say, God, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for still being here with us. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, and then, yeah. Keep pushing. I'll see you at the reunion. Don't give up on your day ones. Don't give up on your family members. Don't give up on individuals who don't get you. But they didn't act, you know, you can't hold that against them. Look at you. You wearing arms and whatnot. Let your hair grow. You smell like patchouli oil. You know what I'm talking about? You wearing wild patterns. This is not approved by Nike. You're gonna get judged. You are their teacher. You are their salvation. They're not yours. You already went through what you needed to go through with them. You are the measurement. You're the ruler. They're gonna rise up to your level. Never go back down to theirs. So stay resilient, stay dangerous, stay active, stay creative, stay lit, stay unapologetically God, because that's a verb, it's action. Matter of fact, now that I mentioned the action verb, let me bring the God up, the young God Kyrie, the God of movement. He's a dancer, right? He taps into the power of movement, right? Introduce yourself real quick to the family, God.
Peace and love, y'all.
Right.
First off, I have to say, give thanks for another day in life's journey. We here, we still here, and we're here. You feel me? We're here. So basically, long story short, my name is Kyrie, but I also go by Chief, and Chief is really my title. Really out here, really out here. Like we say, we have this new reality upon us. So I've been finding ways to basically label it. I don't know, So for me, new. For us, new. Well, for self, new. In you, never under. Feel me? Once you realize it's truth, once you come to this knowledge of self, you feel me? Once you come to realize who we are and why they keep us from the stuff that they keep us from, you can never be under these spells. When we come together, it's natives united. Feel me? And when we really come together, it's nations united. But it's a process.
That's right.
And y'all gonna see this process every time y'all see me. You feel me? This right here, kids. Know yourself. Know your style.
Right.
Real talk. It's real out here, man. But yeah, basically, like you said, I'm a sound translator.
That's right.
I translate sound in the movement, and I'm actually doing some magic with music, aka beat producing. I just started that journey, and that's when I kind of reached out to Big Brother Ray, you feel me, to do that promo, because it's really time. And like it's when you put that science to it, and when you have that spiritual connection, no words. We gotta make up words for that. God Kyrie, Godkyre. That's me on Instagram. My link is in my bio. My producer name is Dr. K. Dot. And yeah, that's the way.
Yeah, that's right.
Give him a hand, y'all. For the artists that are out there, right? That's what we're doing. We're building up a networking conglomerate, a machine. So if you're doing a video and you need somebody to dance for you, we're in Atlanta. This is the land of happy feet. This is the land of dance and rhythm. This is an artist enclave, right? That's right. Yes. So I do try to convince myself, but like I said, it's a process. Y'all gonna learn more of me along the way. But I put out a card, because what I do is I do energy reading, you feel me, and I use numbers or playing cards for the 3D. But basically what I put out was the King of Diamonds. So for the King, for me, with the King and Queen, that's boss card. So king deals with your divine masculine. So when we realize that we are divine beings with both of these components, divine masculine deals with order, you feel me, deals with structure, deals with, facts, deals with what is. It's like the art would be the feminine, the price would be, the masculine, where you want to put it at, how we say. Saying all that to say with the diamonds, for me, diamonds, how they say pressure makes diamonds. I also equate the diamonds like the whole caterpillar to the butterfly. It's like once you become this butterfly, you're not a caterpillar anymore. You feel me? The people that's caterpillars, they got to get to the butterfly status to rock with you. Real talk. So with that being said, we're at this point right now where we're really bossing up on ourselves in our kingdom and our queendom. But for me, king and queen is just ruler. You feel me? So I don't. I gotta say this real quick. When we speak about God, right? They got us thinking of as a man. First off, God is energy. It's saying in the book, God is love. We talking energy, but if we want to bring it to the flesh, to the 3D, the God is the woman, GLDIS. And that's something that I'm bringing. But it comes to realize that we got to stop doing this division of God is a female version of a God. That's saying that God is a man. But it's like, nah, we remixing everything. We remixing everything. But my foot, I wanted to mention that. So I went with my brother this morning to the farmer's market. And when we got in the car, my right foot, the sole of my foot started itching like crazy to the point where I had to take my shoe and my sock off and just scratch my foot for about 5-10 minutes. And for those who don't know about almonds, me, I like to Google things. So I looked into that, and the almond for the right foot deals with, feet deal with progression, deal with moves. Right is more on dealing with good luck and prosperity. So I felt like it was itching so much that this message was not just for me. It was not just for me. We are really at this point where all we have to do is keep flowing. Jedi, just effortlessly do it. It's a lot coming for me. I'm trying to keep it condensed, but yes. God Kyrie, GODKYRE. And I do donation-based energy readings. Just bless, the cash app. Drips by Chief. That's also my merch page. Drips by Chief. Yeah.
Give that man a hand. Young God. All right. So we're about to wrap this thing up. Once again, there's vendors in the building. Like I said, the brother got the copper rods, something that he got staffs right there with precious stones. That might be one of the most powerful artifacts in this building. Tap in, collect. I'm talking to my collectors out there. Come into these venues with a collector's mind state, and you will walk out of here wealthy. Don't come in here with that other mind state, poverty-minded consciousness, because that's not the vibration that we support. There's other places that do that. All right? So I'm going to have my sister Secret close out the team. You know what I'm talking about? For anybody that has not signed the book, right? I need you to sign the book, and she's going to let you know about that before we get up out of here. All right? Peace.
Let's get a round of applause for Red Pill, Sister IMINAH, and Lizzy Jeff in the building, blessing us tonight. If you guys have not signed this book yet, I really, really would like you guys to take a moment and sign it. Take a page off of yourself, put your name, your contact info, and whatever skills you have, because we are really looking to network with each other, build with each other, and if you have a skill that we can utilize, we would love to build with each other. So if you haven't signed this book yet, please come, fill it out, give us your info. Also, reminder, this is about to be every Monday, Melanin Monday. We give an opportunities. So if you're a speaker, if you're an artist, if you do poem, you got some words, anything like that, please hit me up. Let us give you a chance to bless this stage, get in the community, get yourself out here, network, come out here and vibe with us, okay? We love you guys so much. I also want to talk about my Lizzie Jeff, she's having a listening party coming up on October 11th, so please plug in. Stay tuned to her page. It may likely be here, but just stay tuned. We'll have it up very soon. Let y'all know October 11th, plug in, okay? Peace and love, family. See y'all next week. Oh, and one time for the DJ, Fire Vibes in the building. Book all the way from Miami, came to bless us tonight. Give him a gunshot fire. Boom, boom. Okay, one second. Got my brother Jeff, he wanted to bless us with something real quick. Come here, brother.
Yo, what's up, YouTube and everybody out there. Just want to say that we have a sale for the upcoming fall. We got our jackets. It's online only, but if you see something back there, I'll work with you. But online only, our jackets and hoodies are on sale for $165. Both of them, you get a jacket and a hoodie for $165. And in the building, I have my shorts and the jerseys, $20 off. So holla at me.
Dope. We also got Kings County on sale too. We got the hoodies in the back and the t-shirts. Come check us out before you leave. Please support the vendors, y'all. We're all vendors, so let's support each other. And again, one time for the fire DJ, fire. That's it. Family, African Secret with 2 T's. Peace.
No peace outside, you have to find it inside. No group and no stream, no bus find the what's the closest feeling of experiencing life? Purest interaction, nostalgia, something personal.
Peace, family. Peace. Y'all follow me on Instagram, African Secret with 2 T's.
For the balance metric, keep on seeking to. Government keep us never on the left, it's true. The place is about to rest at the for our work and for the whole peace. For moments spent in a righteousness peace. Reality are on the table. Not no company to false sense of security. Just progress and vibration by sense. Pressure as the alright, just as long as I am people. That's the